Happening now, a local furniture store is celebrating a major milestone, 50 years of operation. We see how they are paying homage to Jamestown's furniture roots. And after years of waiting, Jamestown's only ice arena has finally gotten another Zamboni machine. We follow the journey of the ice refreshener. Plus, we have the latest following a Texas mass shooting, claiming the lives of 8 people.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen in for Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, 4 have been arrested in connection to separate raids done by the JPD and the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office Friday morning. Now, officers raided a house at 36 Van Buren Street at around 6:15 Friday morning, locating over 50 baggies of fentanyl, packaging materials, scales, and over $3,400 in cash. Now, 45-year-old Jose Ortiz, 32-year-old Jordan Austin, and 51-year-old Annabelle Santiago were also found inside the residence. The 3 were charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance and criminally using drug paraphernalia at the same time. A second search warrant execution took place at a residence at 111 Crossman Street. Inside the department located 39-year-old Tammy Vaughn, along with 2 other adults and several children. After conducting a thorough search of the residence, detectives uncovered 11.2 grams of cocaine and crack cocaine, 3 grams of fentanyl, scales, and various packaging materials, as well as metal knuckles, a switchblade, and over $2,600 in cash. Now, Vaughn was placed under arrest and has been charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance, criminally using drug paraphernalia, and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. Ortiz, Santiago, and Vaughn were transported to Jamestown City Jail and held for arraignment. Austin was also transported to City Jail, but later released on an appearance ticket in accordance with New York State bail reform. While 3 individuals were arrested early Sunday morning following a fist fight that uncovered narcotics. Jamestown police officials were called to an address on the city's north side for reports of a domestic dispute. Upon arrival, officers discovered 39-year-old Manica Pacheco and 32-year-old James Smogue engaged in a physical altercation, causing injuries. Officers also alleged that 31-year-old Dustin Newbury of damaging property. After breaking up the fight, officers discovered narcotics on Pacheco and Newbury. All 3 were taken into custody and they are awaiting arraignment in city court. Well, a local furniture store is turning half a century old this month, celebrating not only its birthday, but the milestones made by Jamestown's furniture manufacturers along the way. Our Alyssa Wright joins us live in the studio today with more on this Golden Jubilee. And now, Alyssa, that is a interesting set of words right there.
Well, I thought it fit perfectly. Bronson Lafayette Corner Furniture opened its doors on May 25th, 1973, and has grown and evolved to fit the needs of the time while still preserving the history that founded the store in the first place.
Furniture is deeply rooted here. Back at the turn of the century, there were probably 50 different manufacturers here. We were one of the 2 largest wood-producing furniture meccas in the country, and this is where it all came from. 50 years is a milestone, as we know, in a lot of different things, and to be in business in downtown Jamestown for that period of time is meaningful. It's meaningful to the city, it's meaningful to us, and to the employees, some of which have been here almost that whole time.
Pilo has been collecting furniture from the decades to display in the store as not only a conversation piece, but also a way to pay tribute to the roots of the store.
It's definitely unique, and what it does is it starts a conversation. Many of our customers that shop here at the store, we stand at the counter and we talk about furniture because a lot of their relatives, parents, or themselves worked in the furniture industry years ago, and so we would have conversation. This is a place I can bring them to continue that conversation, and we feel that people are interested.
The historical furniture exhibit will remain as long as there is an audience, Pilo explained.
We encourage people to come on down and, take a look and take advantage of some of the savings. And, as far as the exhibit goes, I'll hang on to it until there's no more interest, I guess, and then figure out what to do. Some of it I drug up from the basement. I hate to take it back down there, but so we'll leave it here for a little while.
In the end, the owner speaks his gratitude for his team at Lafayette Corner Furniture.
It's really been the staff here that has been instrumental in the 50 years. Like I said, there's some employees that have been here almost the whole time, and they're very well known. People come back to buy from them all the time. We're very happy to have them.
Jamestown has been known for decades for its deep roots in the furniture manufacturing industry, and historical pieces made in the Pearl City can be found in the store's museum. Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. Well, Jamestown's only ice arena welcomed a new Zamboni ice resurfacer to their ranks Monday morning with a police escort through town. Now, the massive machine is a step up compared to the establishment's prior ice refresheners, saving costs by being operated on only electricity. Now, this acquisition has been in the works for the arena for multiple years now, having to raise a lot of money to purchase the Zamboni. For Director of Operations, Craig Hinderleiter, he says that it's about the Jamestown's only ice arena. It's about time that they only got a new ice resurfacer.
So this is our brand new electric Zamboni. We've been waiting for probably about 18 months for this day, so we're super excited that it's here. But it's top of the line, brand new ice resurfacer from the Zamboni company, and we got it shipped in late last week, and then we drove it over today.
Now, as for the rink's older machines, they will prepare to sell one of them to another ice arena. The Zamboni that is now there made the trip across the city of Jamestown to its new home, guided by a police escort. Now the new machine will be detailed and sponsored by Schultz Auto Group. While switching gears a little bit, we'll get a check of our first weather forecaster with Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson. And Andrew, you know a little bit about the arena. How does it make you feel to see a new Zamboni, and pretty soon Schultz is going to be leaving?
Just in time for I guess we are a few months away. I don't want to rush it, but it's just in time for the upcoming hockey season in September. Do you know how fast those things go on the streets?
They can go up to like 40, 50 miles an hour.
See, it's when you go down 3rd Street at 40 miles per hour. Be hilarious. Anyways, let's switch to the weather right now. Start looking live look over Chautauqua Lake. Partly sunny skies out there. We got some boulders out there. Looks like they're getting ready for the boating season. So we got some warm weather on the way for that. First defense Doppler radar. We're pretty clear across most of the region now. Right now, not much clouds. Maybe a few clouds across northwestern Pennsylvania, but otherwise mainly clear skies currently across the region. The almanac for today, we made it to a high of 63 degrees yesterday. The low was 48 degrees. Our record high for today, 84, set back in 1936, and the record low of 22, set back in 1987. So here's the forecast for the remainder of the afternoon out there. Partly cloudy skies. Some clouds will begin to increase later this afternoon as ahead of a system that's passing by to our south might bring a few showers overnight tonight. Cooler near the lakeshore today with north wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Again, highs today near the lakeshore in the upper 50s to near 60 to the upper 60s to near 70 in the inland locations. I'll have a look at that full forecast, including some exploding toilets coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you then. As WNY News Now continues, we look at how local businesses are suffering from New York State's crackdown on unlicensed marijuana operations. And later, we get the latest from a civil case against former President Donald Trump. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macker mites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. At Caitlin Armstrong.
Land has been quite the experience.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
With the passing of the state budget, New York is moving forward with plans to crack down on stores that are accused of selling marijuana without a license. The state will now begin moving forward with levying major fines against these types of stores across New York State, looking to shut them down. Sam Shapiro has more from a shop facing legal troubles.
We're trying to do it as right as we can, hoping that that would help us in obtaining a license.
Donna Brayton is one of the owners of Exotic Gifts, a retail shop in Horseheads that provides marijuana as a gift with purchase. She said she'd like to get a license to become a retail dispensary, but this isn't possible because of the state criteria. That's because right now, the state is only granting licenses to qualified applicants who also have a previous marijuana conviction.
It's obviously going to impact us because we'll have to shut down, but we were hoping to be able to get a license before that happened because we want to do it the right way, but they haven't made it available to us yet.
Donna explains her store has created local jobs and claims her products have helped some of her clients manage their addiction and get off using harder drugs.
Our customers begged us not to close when we got the original cease and desist licenses because they didn't want to go back on the streets to get it. So I just feel like, maybe they should do a little more research into the different stores and see.
Donna says the majority of her customers are everyday people, some even in their 60s or older, and feels having these types of stores gives an older demographic access to marijuana in a more accessible way.
Those people, a lot of them are older. They don't have the accessibility to travel an hour away to get it at a medical place. So it is a benefit for them.
Now, the Office of Cannabis Management is levying fines up to $20,000 a day. They'll also be performing inspections of these businesses and shutting down unlicensed operations. Well, a civil trial filed against Donald Trump by a former columnist is coming to a close. Attorneys for E. Jean Carroll and the former president are set to give closing arguments sometime today. Carroll is suing Trump for battery and defamation in Manhattan federal court. She says that Trump sexually assaulted her in a department store dressing room in 1996, then later defamed her when he denied the claim. During the 7 trial days, Carroll's legal team put 11 witnesses on the stand, including Carroll. Trump's team did not put on a defense, and he opted not to testify. He actually didn't appear in court at any point during the trial. Trump has denied all wrongdoing. Well, for the first time in 70 years, England has crowned a new monarch. However, in the southern tier, former British citizens have found a way to celebrate the new king. Max Coven reports on how things are going across the pond.
Today we're celebrating the King's coronation, so King Charles III. Obviously the Queen passed away a short time ago, so now it's the turn for the King, the new King, King Charles III, to actually be crowned and kind of make it official.
The royals are dedicated to their titles, duties, and giving back to the world and keeping their family name alive. No matter the issue, good or bad, happy or devastating, the royals know how to smile and come together on Buckingham Palace's balcony to say hello to the world.
The monarchy in the UK is really a staple for a lot of British people. They're the ones that hold the country together. In turmoil, they're always the ones that are there.
A former British citizen recalls the day King George VI passed away. He remembers hearing people preach, "The king is dead, long live the queen."
I was at school when the king died, and on the school, there was very sad music everywhere. Everything was quiet for a couple of days. The thing that stuck in my mind was they said, "The king is dead, long live the queen," in the same sentence, which seemed mysterious to me.
Imagine hearing the breaking news, the king is dead, and within no time, a young woman takes the throne. Now 70 years later, the coronation is back, but with a twist. The longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth, passed away in September of 2022, and the royals have adapted to the 2023's day and age as they are captured left and right across social platforms and news outlets.
Over here, it's more of almost like a soap opera, with the various characters.
The royals are viewed as dynamic, well-versed, prim and proper parts of society. Even after the melodramatic tantrums by young royals, they are the glue that holds the United Kingdom together. Now 69 years, 11 months, and 2 days later, following Queen Elizabeth's coronation, today her son King Charles III takes the throne.
Long live the king!
Well, coming up, we look at the surge of migrants at the U.S. border as a statute prohibiting entry to the country is coming to an end. And later, we have the latest details at a Texas mass shooting over the weekend, claiming 8 lives. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, Channel 716.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macker mites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under partly sunny skies. The current temperature at the Jamestown airport is 60 degrees with a southeast wind of 5 miles per hour. Well, let's take a look back in what happened on this day last year. This happened near Tulsa, Oklahoma during a thunderstorm when lightning struck nearby or struck this person's house. The lightning traveled through the pipes in the house and pretty much blew up the toilet. So while we say it is safe to stay in a bathroom on the lowest floor during a tornado, just don't be sitting on the toilet during a thunderstorm or else this may happen. It's pretty rare that this happened, but still the fact that this happened shows the power of thunderstorms. Well, we don't have any thunderstorms in the forecast over the next week, but we do have some limited rain chances in the forecast. The rain chances for today will be mostly tonight heading into tomorrow, and it's only about a 30% chance, and then heading into Wednesday and Thursday, no rain in the forecast, and then heading towards the end of the week on Friday, a couple 20% chance for rain, but that more so will be late in the afternoon and into the weekend. Here's what's happening across the northeast right now. High pressure to our north is keeping most of the region dry, but there is a system, as you can see, down to our south that might bring in a couple of scattered rain showers later tonight. So let's time it out on future scan for the rest of the afternoon out there. Partly sunny skies. Clouds will start to increase across the southern tier as we head into the late afternoon and the early evening hours. This as a system passes by to our south, which might bring a couple of scattered rain showers across the southern tier tonight. And after that, high pressure will take back control of the weather, and I'm going to let future scan take us through the rest of the day tomorrow, through the night tomorrow night, and into the day on Wednesday, because its future scan is running, but there's nothing to report of. No clouds, no rain, just going to be a nice period of weather through the middle of the week. So here it is on the extended forecast, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. Temperatures in upper 60s near 70 today will drop back down into the lower 60s tomorrow with some scattered showers in the morning and the sky is clear in the afternoon. And then the period of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday looking pretty good. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the 70s, and then our next best chance of a few showers comes to the weekend, but even then it's only about a 30% chance, and most of the time right now is looking to continue to be mainly dry for the weekend.
Well, I do like to see that, Andrew. But you know, because of you, Alyssa is still scared to use the bathroom sometimes.
Don't blame me, blame Mother Nature.
Well, here's some headlines from around the nation. Clouds of concern are swirling around the southern border of the U.S., and metaphorically speaking, a hard rain is about to fall. U.S. officials are preparing for a surge of migrants, and there's bipartisan worries that the country still isn't ready to handle the situation. As migrants are gathering at the U.S.-Mexican border, lawmakers from both parties are sounding the alarm. The rise in people seeking to get into the U.S. comes in anticipation of Thursday's expiration of Title 42, the U.S. government's rule that enabled border officials to expel migrants during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Department of Homeland Security has repeatedly stressed the southern border is sealed and is giving fair warning to those trying to come across. House Republicans are set to vote Thursday on a border security package to succeed Title 42. It's called H.R. 2, and it codifies some of the programs from the Trump administration, including the Remain in Mexico policy, which says migrants have to stay in Mexico as they go through the asylum process. Now, if it passes, it's not expected to get through the Democratic Senate. Encounters between U.S. border agents and undocumented immigrants dropped earlier in the year, but increased recently to roughly 7,000 per day and are expected to rise even more. While we're learning new information about the man police say is responsible for gunning down several shoppers over the weekend at a sprawling outdoor mall north of Dallas, Texas. More details about the victims are also emerging as the community tries to make sense of this tragedy.
This morning, the aftermath of yet another mass shooting in America weighs heavy on the hearts of many.
It was the most terrifying moment of my life.
Saturday afternoon, a gunman opened fire at an outdoor outlet mall in Allen, Texas, killing 8 people and wounding at least 7 others. A trail of carnage as shoppers desperately ran for cover.
I went to the third person who moaned. I knew he was alive. I felt for a pulse. There was no pulse, so I did the first chest compression. he spit up blood, and then his eyes went fixed and dilated, and I knew I'd lost him.
Police say the gunman, 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia, was killed by an Allen police officer who was at the mall on an unrelated call nearby when the shooting started. Investigators believe the shooter acted alone. Authorities have yet to identify a specific motive, but investigators have uncovered an extensive social media presence by the gunman, including a possible link to right-wing extremism, according to a senior law enforcement source familiar with the investigation.
We're going to need prayer. Jesus, take the wheel.
Meanwhile, the Allen community coming together Sunday night to honor the fallen victims, including Christian LaCour, whose sister told CNN Christian was a sweet, caring young man who was loved greatly by our family. In Allen, Texas, I'm Chris Wynn.
Police are preparing to arrest the hospitalized driver of an SUV that slammed into a crowd, killing 8 people waiting for a bus Sunday outside a migrant shelter in the border city of Brownsville, Texas. Authorities said at least 10 others were injured. Surveillance video showed that with no bench at the unmarked city bus stop, some of the victims were sitting on the curb at around 8:30 a.m. when the driver hit them. Witness reports said the SUV ran up the curb, flipped, and continued moving for about 200 feet. Some people walking on the sidewalk about 30 feet from the main group were also hit. Witnesses also had to detain the driver as he tried to run away and held him until police arrived. Police are still trying to determine if the crash was accidental. Now, more information on the crash is expected to come out sometime today. Well, coming up next, we get a look into the garden with what is good for growing this week.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, let's head out to the greenhouse with Josh this morning for Stan's A through Z gardening. Now, Josh has advice for gardeners about perennial gardening. Let's take a look.
Good morning and welcome back to A to Z Gardening. I'm here in a small selection of perennials. Perennial gardening has become way more popular. It's growing in popularity for the last 4 or 5 years. It is popular because I think folks want to take areas that may have been high maintenance and make them lower maintenance by plants that come back every year. That's what an herbaceous perennial is. I have a couple selections here that may be old-fashioned perennials, and that's Dicentra or the bleeding heart plant. This is the old-fashioned type of bleeding heart plant. Lots of folks come in looking for it to add to their shady garden. This plant here likes it a little cooler, a little casual. It's a good companion plant to, say, sedges and ferns and hostas and such. But the downside, if you want to call it for that, of this Dicentra is that it blooms very, very early. It comes up very early. It's still cold, little dreary, rainy. And this plant adds some color, adds some real nice ferny looking texture to your shade garden in the early spring. Once the heat comes and it's time to start planting those peppers and tomatoes, the ground warms up, dries out, this plant goes to sleep. It's already done its job. The a little bit trending, newer variety of the bleeding heart is the fern leaf Dicentra here. This one here is called Luxuriant. The good side to this kind of a dicentra is that it'll tolerate a little bit more sun. It stays nice and compact, and it blooms and stays awake for a long period of time. It doesn't go to sleep immediately after blooming like the old-fashioned bleeding heart does. You'll see a long bloom pattern on this as well. Nice tight habit to it. So a little bit different twist on the perennial herbaceous type of dicentra or bleeding heart. For any questions about the trending perennial, herbaceous perennial crops, feel free to contact any of us professionals here at Stands.
That is it for us today. Remember, the news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and our mobile app. Download it for free today. We just look over Lakeside Park.